Hey guys, Bet here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Verdun, a first-person shooter that was recently released on the Xbox One and is set during World War One. The game is based around trench warfare and recreates battles between the Entente and Central Powers that take place along the Western Front. While not quite a military sim, Verdun is still a hardcore shooter with unforgiving mechanics like one-shot kills, as well as no directional damage indicators or kill cam. Quite often in the game, you will be oblivious to where you got killed from, as you die not infrequently to snipers, machine guns, grenades, and artillery. As such, you have a realistic sense of dread when peeking over the wall of the trench, or having to charge through no man's land towards the enemy. There are 4 game modes present in Verdun. A free-for-all game mode where you're restricted to only bolt-action rifles. A team deathmatch with no weapon restrictions where you can use any weapon in the game. A wave defense mode where you and up to 3 of your friends can defend a trench against waves of AI enemies, and Frontlines, which is Verdun's main game mode centered around trench warfare in World War I. Frontlines is an objective game mode centered around squad-based combat and tactics, with 4 squads of 4 on each team for a 16-on-16 battle, but I'll talk more about the squads later. When your team attacks, you are given a time period in which you can attack the enemy trench. If you are successful in capturing the enemy trench, you must then defend it against the enemy counterattack. And if you are unsuccessful in capturing the enemy trench, you must retreat to your own trench to repel the enemy's counterattack. The side that successfully captures the most trenches at the end of a 30-minute game wins. It is possible for the sides to capture the same amount of trenches, which results in the game being a draw. The squads of Verdun are an essential part of how the game is played. The squad mechanic is present in both the Frontlines and Wave Defense game modes. Squads are representative of the different armies that served under each faction during World War I, with 7 squads to choose from for the Entente powers, and 5 to choose from for the Central powers. Well, I'm not going to go through all of the squads in this video. I would like to take a look at one of the squads as an example to explain how the squad system affects the gameplay in Verdun. Each squad consists of 4 roles. A role is defined both by their loadout and their traits. Roles have 3 loadouts, the first of which is unlocked by default, and 4 traits, which are leveled up by the squad system. The unique loadout and traits affect how you play that role. To help explain how the traits work, let's take a look at the Canadian squad. The 4 roles in this squad are the Assault Leader, the Flanker, the Specialist, and the Raider. The first role in the squad is always the Squad Leader, referred to in Verdun as the NCO or Non-Commissioned Officer. The NCO has 2 abilities that set them apart from other members of the squad. The passive ability of the Command Aura, and the active ability to issue assault orders and call in off-map support, such as recon planes, mortars, and gas. The Command Aura is the in-game area around the NCO that passively provides benefits to his squad members when they are standing inside it. For example, when in the Command Aura, the Canadians are given an increase in health regen speed. Issuing an assault order as the NCO, which is done by hitting RB and then LT, can also give benefits to your squad mates that stand near the assault order. For example, the Specialist gets a decrease in their gas mask equip time when near the assault order marker. This pairs nicely with the Assault Leader's ability to call in gas shells on the enemy by pressing RB and then RT. As you play consistently with the same players in the same squad, your experience with that squad will be leveled up, increasing the potency of your squad's traits and off-map support. For example, the Canadian Assault Leader at level 1 is able to call in tear gas on the enemies, but as the squad levels up, they are able to call in chlorine gas, and then phosgene gas, and finally mustard gas when the squad is at a very high level. Verdun is an interesting take on the first-person shooter genre. While it isn't as polished as some other games, the game is successful in what it sets out to do, which is create a realistic World War I shooter. In my playtime so far, I've noticed many positives that the game has, but also some negatives that I think I should mention. So let's start with them. The first negative is that the game currently has a fairly low player count, which if you're worried about the longevity of the game might be a concern. While it is still possible to find full games, it is hard to predict how the community will be for this game in the future in regards to the Xbox One console. Secondly, the matchmaking and server stability is not perfect. Frequently, I am told that the game I am trying to join is full or that it has ended when I have a friend in the game I'm trying to join telling me otherwise. Also, when trying to create a squad or join with friends, I sometimes get the error, unable to create or join Photon Cloud session. I've also run into a graphical error where the textures for some players do not seem to load properly, leaving the player models either all white or pink. While this does make target acquisition easier, it does take away from the immersion of the game and can also be annoying when you're getting killed simply because for the enemy you are bright white or bright pink on their screen. Aside from these glitches, there are no real parts of the game that I would say are negative, and hopefully in the coming weeks these glitches will get patched out. As far as the positives of the game go, I would say that the gunplay is a big one. The gunplay in Verdun feels really solid, and the rifles feel powerful and accurate, while still requiring skill and timing to be used effectively. The pistols are balanced nicely as a great choice for up-close combat, as they can fire faster than the rifles but do less damage per shot and have long reload times. The heavy machine guns in the right hand can be very effective, but still need to be stationary and set up to be really used to their full potential. Grenades are also well balanced with long throw times, meaning that if you aren't careful with your placement while throwing them, it is likely you will get killed in the windup. The game modes of Verdun are also very enjoyable. While Frontlines is my clear favorite for all of the layered teamwork and tactics that go along with it, I also enjoy Rifle Deathmatch as a great mode to play solo, and really hone your skills with a rifle. The map design of Verdun is also good. The maps are accurate to the trench warfare of World War I, while still having adequate cover in no man's land in order to enable the attackers to make it across. The maps also feel distinct from one another. There's map variance in distance between the trenches, time of day, amount of foliage, and change in elevation. The clear highlight of the game, though, is the squad system. Having a group of buddies to play the game with definitely makes the experience that much more rewarding. Having each member of the squad with a clear role that they are performing really means that you get the most out of the game when you're working together with your squad. Overall, I think the game's positive outweigh its negatives. It's hard to pass up for the $20 price point that it's currently at, especially if you have a buddy or two that is willing to play the game with you. Have you tried out Verdun? Let me know in the comments below and what you thought of it. And until next time, keep doing the best with what you got.